letos skupaj z Davidom Bevilacquo kurira v festival računalniške umetnosti. Letos obeležujemo 30. edicijo festivala. To je bila tudi neka vstopna točka v razmišljanje tudi o trenutni razstavi, o samem konceptu festivala. Namreč zgodovina je precej pestra, zelo zanimiva. V bistvu se je v 30 letih tehnologija do te mere spremenila, da zelo težko še govorimo o računalniški umetnosti. To je nek izraz, ki je mogoče iz današnjega vidika precej zastarel. Je pa pred 30 leti pomenil neko novost, torej neko navdušenje nad internetom, nad novimi tehnologijami, nad računalniki, je prevladoval prva leta festivala. In prav to neko navdušenje nad tehnologijami, hkrati pa je festival vedno ohranjal tudi neko kritično držo do same tehnologije. Torej, prevpraševal je, kaj se bo z njo zgodilo v prihodnosti, kako jo bomo uporabljali, in prav to so bile neke relevantne teme, ki sva jih naslovila tudi na sami razstavi. Torej, neko to preiskovanje arhiva, razmišljanje o zgodovini festivala je bila neko pomembno izhodišče tudi za razmislek o poziciji festivala danes in pa o razmišljanju o festivalu v prihodnosti, torej kaj se lahko z njim zgodi, kakšne prostore lahko zavzema in kakšni formati so smiselni za tak festival. Zato je v bistvu vstopna točka razstave oziroma vstopna točka v veliki kavarni je razstava v fokusu, ki se prav ukvarja z arhivom festivala. Torej preko videomontaže predstavlja različne delčke, ki da neko pogled v to, kako je festival potekal, kako so bile videti razstave, kaj se je tam dogajalo. Hkrati smo pa izdali tudi katalog z naslovom V fokusu, 30 tehnoloških skrbi, ki pa govori prav v bistvu preko intervjujev z kuratorji, umetniki, drugimi sodelujoči v teh 30 letih festivala, v bistvu prevprašuje prav vlogo tehnologije takrat in pa v bistvu tudi v današnji družbi ter nastavi neke premisleke o uporabi tehnologije v prihodnosti. In to je bilo potem tudi eno izhodišče za glavno razstavo v veliki kavarni z naslovom Prazne police, Postpotrošniške vizije, ko je v bistvu poslovanje zapusti stavbo. In tukaj je pa mogoče prvi vidik je nek ta zgodovinski vidik, drugi vidik pa je vprašanje teh starih zapuščenih prostorov v središču mesta. Gre torej tudi za vprašanje, kaj s temi prostori še naredimo. Zaradi spletnega nakupovanja, novih tehnologij, v bistvu pojavljanja nekih velikih nakupovalnih središč na obrobju mesta, so se središča mesta precej spremenila. Nimajo več te potrošniške funkcije, ki so jo mogoče imela na začetku. In prav ta razmislek je nekako vplival na to, da smo preko umetniških del, preko različnih umetniških pozicij razmišljali o tem, kako bi lahko te prostore naselili v bistvu onkraj neke te potrošniške funkcije. Torej, da razmišljamo o prostorih, kako jih še lahko uporabljamo, mogoče bolj nek ta skupnostni vidik, kakšne dejavnosti bi lahko v takih prostorih potekale, ki mogoče grejo čez v bistvu v neko postkonzumeristično vizijo prihodnosti. Umetnice, umetniški kolektivi, ki sva jih povabila k sodelovanju, so naredili nova dela za razstavo, preko katerih so na različnih področjih vsakdanjega življenja, torej celotna razstava je strukturirana kot neko nakupovalno središče z različnimi oddelki, torej skozi neke te oddelke od hrane, lepote, ekonomije, razmišljali o možnostih, prihodnosti, o reorganizaciji družbe, odpirali mogoče neka vprašanja, kakšne prihodnosti so možne onkraj neke kapitalistične logike, kar pa se potem rezultira v precej različnih delih. Tukaj mogoče ni več ta fokus na novomedijske prakse kot neko zgolj fascinacijo nad tem, kaj tehnologija vse zmore, ampak gre bolj za neko kritično držo, ki prevprašuje naš odnos do tehnologije, v smislu, da imamo občutek, da bo tehnologija rešila vse naše težave, vendar pa, kar sporoča ta razstava, je, da v bistvu moramo spremeniti svoje razmišljanje kot družba, moramo se drugače organizirati kot družba. Tehnologija je v bistvu samo nek neko orodje, ki nam pri tem lahko pomaga, ne bo pa rešila pač vseh naših težav. In to je nekako potem glavno sporočilo te razstave preko teh različnih umetniških pozicij, torej bolj neka mogoče kritična distanca do tudi napredka in novih tehnologij.
When you enter the exhibition, you see actually the work that has been done in the archive of the festival. This is, as was mentioned, the 30th anniversary of the festival. Then we continue with the second area, which we called the social nourishment court. It refers, of course, to the food court of areas where, of shopping malls, shopping areas of the city, where you are usually forced to consume in order to stay. And we wanted to liberate this part as well, creating an area where visitors can enter, can spend time, can bring their own lunch, and this becomes also a space where we host the discursive program of the festival, where workshops, where talks and presentations are happening as well. So in that space, we showcase the work from Dasha Elina, which is related to food as a metaphor to explain contemporary technologies. Her work is called Dasha's Kitchen, my magical cheese sandwich recipe. So building on the metaphor of the algorithm as a cheese sandwich, Elina creates a series of reaction video online that explain contemporary technologies and actually their use as a surveillance tool. This was with a specific focus on France and the use of AI surveillance system for the Olympics that just passed. In the same era, there is also the work from Alice Strete and Simon Brown, who are a collective that works with food and nourishment specifically. During the festival, they organize workshops in which we will explore the advertisement material that everybody gets in the shops, like this prospectus brochure with all the cheap food, and they analyze this very overlooked printed material as with the intention of using it to kind of explore contemporary society and the need of each other. So with the question, what are you hungry now for? You don't have to answer with the food, but the question opens up what is the realm of needs that we all have in our daily life, and how can we answer them. In the workshop, then we create zines, cutting up some parts of the catalogs, understanding how the food is represented, what are the tendencies. We can compare from catalogs of different countries, so there is a very nice moment of interaction between the participants, and everybody of them brings up their favorite recipes or what is actually how they feel about, I don't know, special food tendencies and what we would need as a society to grow actually together. We continue with the third work in the off-the-shelf exhibition, which is from Fresh Trash. Fresh Trash is a very performative collective, experimental, making videos, zines, publications, and many performances. And this you see in the proposals that they did for the 30th MFRU, which is a video work and conference room. That's the performative part. That introduces a dystopian future trainarium center. In the idea of reaching a sort of post-capitalist, post-consumerist state, we cannot kind of be relaxed and abandon let's say, the continuous fight. Because what happens after we say, let's say, we win capitalism, is that it always strikes back. There's always an attempt to co-opt and come to the position of control and power and financial dynamics that happens in society. This is what happens, and their take and their contribution for the exhibition goes exactly on this, exploring what are the let's say, contemporary marketing strategies or business strategies that touch the ideology, that touch almost the religion, and they pack the religion in a sort of absurd co-working space, total life, work, die system in which the people who want to join, they become basically prisoners and they work for this one center for many, many years with the promise of a holy land in the future that never happens. So it's a very ironic take, and then it's a kind of a passage ritual and really takes a stand, a critical stand on what we have to also be confronted to when thinking about future scenarios, when the capital, when the business leaves the buildings. After this area, after being initiated to the Tranarium Center, we found ourselves in another area of the exhibition, which is the nostalgic ritual outlet. This splits on the two floors, also has the work from two different artist groups, artist collectives. So the first one is the London-based collective Excessive Aesthetics. That's a women collective. It's a very multidisciplinary collective. They focus a lot on the concept of beauty and what beauty means for people and what beauty means in society. For the exhibition, they created a work entitled Beauty Stand 3005, and in which the stand looks like one of these makeup stands that you will find in a mall, with a mirror, which in this case is AR technology that kind of projects on your face hypothetic makeups that you will make with the tools that you find in this shelf, and it's a stand and it's a stake on the rituals that especially young girls would have in the early 2000s in shopping malls. This could be seen as a sort of initiation of the consumerist style or consumerist lifestyle. But for them, their point is that this is also a very important moment of identity building, where group of peers, group of girls will not only just do makeup, but also build their own identity and their own social bondings that will last many years. This is something that is getting lost, also through the movement to the online spaces, where also social relations are delegated to social networks, to shopping platforms, so the actually one-to-one relation with your friends is mediated and therefore influenced by all the platforms. In upstairs we have, let's say, the bit more works that also deal with more constructive parts. Of course, after the critique and the let's say the analysis, we need to build on the top of it, and we start from the work of Inari Wishiki, who is a very performative artist that every time creates also site-specific works. His current research is about unmaking, so a way of avoiding production, avoiding the results of production, which is the use of resources and materials and the waste that is done. And his research is about how to kind of revert these logics and find ways of solving what we need without creating more waste or creating more labor. So better not make and instead of making. So this connects to the idea of how we train for the future of post-consumption, in which we don't want anymore to just click and buy or just go to the shop to resolve our needs, but you have to be ready and attentive to kind of catch the moment and catch the occasions of finding things that we need and we maybe don't know that we need, but that will be presented to us maybe in places or in the streets or somewhere, and then we will realize when we see these objects that that this is exactly what we need. This refers to a Japanese saying that is called the off-the-shelf mochi. It refers to this legend where one shop, one day somebody got a mochi that was falling, mochi, that's Japanese sweets, right? Falling from the shelf and directly in the mouth, and the person found it amazing and didn't know that they needed something sweet in that moment. So building on this, you have kind of to be ready to get this moment of luck. Theorizing luck is something impossible, but that's the attempt of Inari. And with the cooperation of Piet, his colleague, they build a sort of machine that trains people into developing this attention to what's happening around and to develop their kind of luck. So they will pull up a mochi who will roll around a system of shelves that has been constructed with materials found on site, fully embracing this idea of we see what happens, we know what we want to do, but the materials will come to us. And then at some point this mochi, rolling down in a random way, will fall down off the shelf. So, and your goal is to catch it in the mouth, to be ready. It's incredibly difficult, but some people made it. So in our society, we realize there are people ready for this radical shift. On the first floor, we also feature again the work of Dasha Elina, in this case with two different projects. One is called the Center for Technological Pain, and is a series of rituals and workshops that analyze what is our relation with the technology and an attempt to kind of critically engage with the problems that come with technology. Let's say eye strains or the problem with the neck that is always not in the right position or stiff because we keep on scrolling. So Dasha proposed fictional or ironic, absurd solutions to keep the neck straight and also to kind of hydrate our eyes or solve the finger pain with objects of cardboard that are produced in workshops. There is also a yoga routine to help yourself and your friend who cannot avoid having a relation with the smartphone, but in this case it will be a routine that helps them still to be a bit more healthy. The second work is Advice Well Taken, which is a work that deals with the folkloric knowledge and rituals that are built on the top of this dependency of devices. So we all know if our phone falls into water, we will put into rice. There are people who have specific tricks and techniques to plug and unplug and charge and discharge the phone in order to make it load faster, make the battery run longer. All of this is actually a huge amount of folkloric knowledge that deals with this. It deals with contemporary technology. Dasha calls it the tech lore, as a concept that she invented. And she analyzes this with interviews with people, and actually with media artists, people who are actually expected to know a lot about the technology, but even if we are knowledgeable and we are engineers or software developer, we still fall within this relational and symbolic approach to technologies. And this is very nice and also very absurd to observe. There is a further area which is the Economic Potential Laboratory. This is an area in which we really focus on what is the economic future of our world, our societies, and this area comprises two works. The first one is from Rock Krantz, who is a writer, researcher, and artist that deals a lot with the ideas of the economical development and what are the main directions that society can take. One, of course, as we know, will be, which is strong now, is the green tech development. We need more technology to save energy and to have less impact on our world. And the other one is a more critical, collaborative, let's say, post-growth, degrowth direction in which the main idea is to reduce our consumption. Those are very strong pillars of the current discourse on economies and societies, and he analyzes all these theories and presents it in a form of a board game that people can play together and discuss together and kind of fight together for which direction is the best for the future. The second work of the Economic Potential Laboratory is POCAS, which stands for Poca Organización Cooperativa de Autoservicio. This is a research project from Pablo Somonte Ruano. Pablo deals with similar topic as well of economies, but with a very, very specific focus on societies, communities doing that. His research is based on the spaces where all this community and these exchanges happen, and is very much inspired by the community stores, like the mini markets that are in the corners of the street, and there are maybe family business, and they offer the things that you need, and they are not only shops, but also maybe also offer a little bit of food, coffee, and become in some areas also very central places for communities that live either in big cities or in small villages, and have yeah, a specific culture as well. So he's developing concepts for such places. And all these places are very embedded in the territory. You have to imagine a specific space, a specific community, a specific need, and what it is and how it could work. The installation presents visualization of such work, of different variations. He also imagined one podcast for the Velika Kavarna, for the space here, and for Maribor as a city. So trying to embed the needs of the population. The installation also presents a lot of the research that is being done from Pablo on the topic, because this is a long-term project as well, and Pablo has been gathering a lot of material, a lot of examples of alternative economies, of alternative approaches. One of these is from Tomasz Fleischmann, who is a Slovenian theorist that is also very active in the scene, and the interview with Thomas and with other theorists can be also seen and heard in the space. Last area is again the nostalgic ritual outlet, which closes the parentheses open from the excessive aesthetic one. The final installation is from Undoing Studio, who is a collective that deals a lot with sound art and music. They based their work Naivstalgia on a mixture of vaporwave aesthetic and music practice and Yugo nostalgia that is rooted here in the places that were part of Yugoslavia. So connecting these two tendencies, they build a jukebox and a listening area settings that looks really like that. It's really connected to the vaporwave aesthetic. So you have the classic elements of the old computers, of the columns, of the fake plans. Those are all elements that come from a consumer culture aesthetics from the 80s and 90s and 2000s. And this is the consumer culture that we have been promised to, the consumer culture that will make us all wealthy and live nicely. But however, after the years, especially after the crisis of 2008, we realized these promises were no longer valid or were never valid. So, but it's still very strong and very powerful, and is connected with this return to a past that never happened, but is a past of positive consumerism. That's the 80s, where a lot of enthusiasm was about there. The installation collects this and connects this with the local Yugo nostalgia by a jukebox where you can select old songs from the 50s and 60s and transform them into a vaporwave by extracting them, by applying filters, and you create some sort of fictional vaporwave performances and music scene that was happening here. This is also a very important part of the work. The narrative around this fake vaporwave from Maribor, that is the so-called Maribor wave. This is something that the artists also put in their work, creating a narrative of obscure forums online where people will describe how cool it was, the Maribor wave, and they created a fictional label that will produce sounds and music for this new music genre rooted in the city. Lastly, we, as a festival team, we also had the opportunity to create intervention in the public space to engage with the city, and starting from the work that has been done in the archive and looking at the history of computer art, especially in the MFRU context, the whole festival team occupied the facade on the main square with what we call the interactive media facade, which is a giant print with a message that we want to give to the audience, to the visitors, to the passers-by, which is the simple message is that technology will not save us alone. And this is boiling down all the work that has been done for the exhibition and for the festival. This summarizes very well what is the intention. 30 years ago, technologies started invading our lives and sounded like it was the future, it was something marvelous, and with the time we ended up in some sort of dystopic area where we are also, in a way controlled, or not in a conspiratorial way, but all our daily life is very dependent on digital technologies, on internet technologies. So there is something that we lost over the time, to be able to be independent from computers. Which is not per se a problem. The problem is when we are unable to act without computer and digital technologies anymore. And the secondary problem is the approach of techno-solutionists, that we believe that using more technologies will solve our problems. So the statement that is part of the interactive media facade is technologies will not save us, and we hope that somehow this opens up some discussion and thoughts also for the simple passers-by, creating maybe some movement. The whole exhibition was built and developed and produced also with this concept of off the shelf. So the festival architecture, the artworks production in the show are also built with second-hand, upcycled, found material that we felt could be of use, and we try to embrace this spontaneous approach in production as well.